yeah, I visited him recently. He worked at a tow truck company, and I made a necklace out of my powers for him to wear. I think it was a necklace. It was made, okay, I made the necklace just like his soul. So the necklace looked weird and out of control like his soul. Let me go back. Okay, so there was a man. This man believed in me before he even knew I was a god. He was a man, he believed in me, and he worked at a tow truck company or something. And he had a lot of weird life issues and problems. And he ordered a necklace from me. And I put my powers and a bunch of stuff, and I did all this weird ritual. I did a lot of really old god level rituals and more. And then I put some spells and some potion and some god and nature. Gods that are badass. Gods that are badass use nature and stuff to be badass gods and fight back or do amazing things. And I connected it all to a necklace. And I made the necklace look like his soul. The necklace looked like a big, huge mess, like his soul. So his life was all over the place. His life was always all over the place. And it was because he had a lot of like family spiritual stuff. So the guy was from like a really weird, bizarre spiritual family line. And because his family line was so weird and spiritually bizarre, his soul was like a big mess. So I made the necklace like a big mess, like his soul. And I put all the stuff connected to the necklace and I sent it to him. And I had told him exactly what to do. And he did everything exactly like I said. And it worked. It worked right away, but you couldn't tell unless you're like a spiritual person. You couldn't really tell. And then it worked a little bit better within like a year. But like you had to be really good at like deciphering it all. So after I knew him, so after I did the necklace and he wore it, like after the first year, you could tell it was getting pretty beneficial. But like you'd have to be able to see it spiritually. And then after the second year, it was getting really, really helpful. And then after the second year of when I made that necklace for that tow truck guy, I realized within the second year that his soul was not just a mess. His family line was a mess. So I started realizing that his family line has such spiritual realities all over the place that fixing him took 2 years. So fixing his problems actually took me 2 years. So I made a necklace just to help with the silly things he asked for help with. But I ended up staying connected to that necklace and adding things to that necklace for about 6 years. So that necklace has become a 6-year necklace. But yes, I barely got to show up and say hi to him and say hi to his daughter and his family and run around and say hi to his company and run around and say hi to his friends and say thank you, that it was one of my first realities of the act of God me. So I told him, I wasn't a psychic. I wasn't anything silly. I'm a god, but I just wanted to play silly games. And I wanted to pretend to be a psychic or pretend to be a lot of things so I could just live as a dead god and be happy. Because until resurrection, you can't say you're a dead god because it's too dangerous for anyone who would love you or something. So I had to pretend to be nothing or a psychic or something bizarre or a weird spiritual thing. But I still do it now. I still pretend to be just whatever now because like it doesn't matter. And a lot of people might not want to hear it when they're stuck in your car. So I just say I'm very spiritual or whatever. Something generic where it doesn't offend anybody pretty much or whatever. But yeah, I made a necklace for a guy. He worked at a tow truck company. He had a daughter and, he was going through a lot of things. And it took me 6 years, six flippity years. But, the fun part was I was talking to him. I was talking to him and I was saying, you know what? We should really dive into your family line. Your family line was a really, really big pile of very spiritual things. And he was like, well, maybe, I guess, I don't know. I'll think about it. And I was like, you're going to love it. it's like having a whole family of witches or something. It's kind of fun to go through and like learn about yourself when you like get to know those kind of things. And then when you learn about your family, you can be empowered to actually use your family line to like make your life or your future more powerful and more like dedicatedly amazing by like, you know, pulling the best of your family line instead of letting like the bad of your family line hurt you. And he was like, well, maybe, you know, I might think about it, but like, I don't know if he's into it or not. But if he doesn't do it, that's okay, because I took care of his issues. It took 6 years, but I took care of his issues. After about 4 years, after about 4 years, he was finally pretty stable, pretty happy, pretty content. And then after about 6 years, he was remarkably doing amazing, and he knew everything was fine. And then the United States tried to talk to him in secret, and he could tell when the United States would stalk him, because things would go really bad, and he would run and run to that necklace and hope that I help it to work out good overall. But yeah, he's a really neat guy. But why? Because he believed in me when I was nothing, and I will never forget that.